Okay, my people. Big Rossi Love, Lord Eric Steele here. Today we're going to clarify some things and bring some things to light for our folks here, all right? The media for the dominant society has been trying to push off this narrative where, oh, there's some kind of mandate, you know, the, the people that come together and there's some kind of mandate where they want Trump to do, okay, let's just stop all the nonsense, all right? Let's break it down. In 2020's election, presidential election, Joe Biden was getting destroyed as usual, and he called upon the black women of this country. He made them feel, as they like to try to do, they like to make the black women be our leaders, when in actuality that's nonsense. But they like to put forth this thing where the black women came forth and they saved Joe Biden, they pulled Joe Biden through. No, it's because Joe Biden made promises before the election that they were going to do some things for us, that they were going to consider some things for us. And once again, it was the old shampoo. He ran the sham and we were left with the poo. Okay? Now, the things I'm telling you are just either they're true or they're not. I'm giving you facts. You can either believe it or not. Okay? It's not going to change the fact of whether or not what I'm telling you is true, but the intelligent person would take what I'm saying and fact check it. Okay? All right? Now, they came with us with this Kamala vice presidency as, oh, she's a sister girl. Oh, she's going to be, we have another. I've said all along, a black face in power does nothing for us. Just because there's a black face on somebody does not mean that person has the interest of our people at heart. Okay? And we have to stop letting these people get away with this. Actually, we've already stopped. It's already stopped. We're done with it. That's why the Democrats lost this time. It had nothing to do with nothing Trump was doing. It had to do with them lying to us in L.A. with Mr. Gavin, saying that he was going to consider reparations for our people. In fact, we were supposed to be getting them. And it either starts in L.A. or starts in New York because those are the larger populations, okay? He started it over there. They tried to give us this weird definitions of who was going to be able to get it, and we ain't having that. We're not doing ambiguity anymore, okay? We're not doing ambiguous terms. We're not doing minority. That does not mean black people. That does not mean the people who we are, okay? It's reparations are for foundational black Americans, the people who built the country, all right? It's not for anybody with a black face, so stop the nonsense. And you might say, oh, well, Eric Steele, there's not that many of you here. Okay, I'll grant you that. The majority, the dominant society has more people than us, but we're not going to be taken advantage of anymore, okay? Oh, well, what do you mean, Eric Steele? I'll give you the numbers, all right? In 2020, Joe Biden won roughly 81 million votes. 81 million votes. Black women came to the rescue. Remember that was the narrative? Old black women, you guys pulled it out for Joe Biden. And what did he do once he got in office? He told y'all don't ask him for nothing. As a matter of fact, they came up with a new law to harm black people. Well, that's not true. Okay, well let's take a look and see who it harmed then. When they passed that Asian crime bill, who got arrested behind it? Any white people? Let's keep it a buck. Any white people? No. There was a black lady in New York who got into an argument. She did not assault anybody. They were arguing. He was calling her name. She called him a name. Who do you think got arrested? The black woman. And they charged her with a felony for calling him a name. They charged her with a felony. It's under the Asian hate crime bill. Okay? That's what happened. And you say, oh, well, that doesn't mean it's just for black people. Okay, listen to this. Donald Trump called Mitch McConnell's wife Chow Chow. I'm either lying or I'm not. He said that in 2020, after the crime bill was in place, Donald Trump referred to her as Chow Chow. Okay? No charges, no nothing. Nobody said a word about it. Okay, so when a black lady argues with a Chinese man, a regular dude they can argue. You can argue. What happened to freedom of speech? Okay? But she got into an argument with an Asian gentleman. She got arrested and charged with a felony. Donald Trump, the ex-president, Okay, this guy calls somebody chow chow in public on his social media in front of everybody. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. So miss me with that it's not against black people, because that's exactly who they use it on. We're going to keep it a buck on this channel. We're going to keep it a whole buck. All 100 pennies of it. Okay? That's who it's used for. So follow me on this. We saved his campaign. We got him elected. And in return, they kicked us in the teeth. We done with all these games, bro. We're done with the games. And on this channel, we're going to break all these games down. I'm going to give you some history. I'm going to give you some numbers, and you can verify it. Please get back to me if you think anything I'm saying is invalid. I am not above reproach. We will get into it if you want to, and we'll break it all down, but we're going to use facts. I'm very passionate about my people. Okay, I'm not saying our people is above anybody else. In some things we are, some things we aren't. Okay, but we're going to address these inequities on this channel. These inequities will be addressed, okay? Now, look, if you look at the numbers, Biden was elected by, let's see, 81 million, roughly 81 million, maybe 200,000 or something. To Donald Trump has 74 million to something, okay? So it was a difference of roughly like 7 million. Joe Biden beat Trump by, okay? All right, so that's 2020. Now in 2024, after this debacle of them proving once again that the Democrats do not care about foundational black Americans, they are no better than Republicans. If you've been following me, you know I say it all along. Republicans and Democrats are just wings on the same bird. It's the same bird of nonsense, okay? One is just in our face racist, and the other one is smile in your face, pat you on the back, but still stab you. Still racism altogether. It's still, okay, now let me break it down this way. Racism, I'm not talking about bigotry. I'm talking about the system, white supremacy, the system. Okay, it is a system that is practiced against our people. Okay, understand that. It is a system. Okay, I'm not talking about white hoods, boogeyman in the night stuff. We're past all that. Our people are far past that, okay? It's more overt now. It's the school teacher who puts your child in the back and then wonders why he's not learning. It's the nurse in the hospital that's breaking the arms of little infant black kids, talking about, oh, she didn't know she couldn't lift a baby up by the arm. These are the little overt things I'm talking about, all right? They are practicing in this system racism. They are practicing in the system of white supremacy, okay? Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. Now, I'm not labeling all, but there's too many of us to try to ignore. Instead of us trying to figure out, taking time to figure out which specific person is not, and we don't have time for that, okay? And until they show us otherwise, we have to just assume, okay? Until they've proven otherwise, we have to go under the assumption that, you know, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to defend ourselves in the event of, okay? Life favors the prepared mind, so we will be prepared. Now, so Trump lost to Biden by about 7 million in 2020, okay? Now, in 2024, Trump beat Kamala. He had like 77 million. She only had like 75. He had a little over 77 million. She had about 75 million, so he barely lost. So when they say there's not a lot of FBA, there's not. But when we don't participate, they lose, baby. They lose. And we're not participating no more. Some of us went over and voted for Trump. A lot of FBA that I know were so disenfranchised with Kamala. We are so over her and her lying nonsense and people trying to pretend she's something that she's not. Some of us just went with Trump, but a lot of us stayed home, voted for the couch. We're just not going to play. You guys are going to ignore us. They ignore us, so we're just not going to play. That's how it's going to go. Either they're going to address our issues and treat us like we deserve to be treated, or we're not going to play. It's that simple, and you'll never win again. Democrats will never win again if they don't make amends with the foundational black Americans. They'll never win again because we're not going to play. And we just showed y'all. They counted on it. Oh my God, they counted us in. They assumed they had our vote. Oh, they just knew Kamala was going to win. No, we're not playing anymore. We're not playing anymore. We don't want to play. What's the difference? That old generation of black people, we're not a part of that nonsense anymore. Okay? We don't follow those rules anymore. We've done all that. Been there, done that. It's our turn now. Okay? It's our turn now. America needs to live up to their promise to us. Oh, Eric Steele, I had another comment. What makes FBA so special? Well, I'll tell you. We are the only other group of people besides the Indians to be mentioned in the federal government in the treaties. We have a treaty already. It's in place. They just need to live up to that end of the bargain. That's it. There's a treaty in place already. The Indians don't live up to it. And America, the government, the U.S. government, has a treaty with our black people, with the black freedmen. Those individuals who helped build this nation. There would be no nation without us. We have a treaty with the government and the Indians. But somehow the Indians got their cut of the pie and we don't get ours. When it comes time to give us ours, all of a sudden all these ambiguous terms come up. Oh, people of color, minority. No. Jesse Jackson, all these old backwoods dudes is trying. We're not on that no more. Forget about that. It's over. That train is over. The Sheila Jackson Lees, all these weirdos, we're not following that stuff no more. Okay, we're past that. All that kumbaya nonsense, that hasn't worked and it doesn't work. We're not on that anymore. Okay? And you don't have to believe me. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. You're never going to win another election for the presidency ignoring our foundational black Americans. I guarantee it. The proof is in the pudding. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. Was Kamala a more moral person than Trump? Sure. I'll give her that. I'll say she doesn't lie quite as much. She still lies. But what does that do for us? What does that do for our people? We're tired of being lied to. We're tired of being ignored. They need to give us our due. They need to give us our due. And everybody that has all these comments that come against us and hate, you have to ask yourself, what are you hating on us for? What are you hating on us for? Without us, there would be no country. That's either true or it's not. Did we build the country? Of course we did. It is in your historical documents. Your presidents, your generals, they all said in the Civil War, it turned when the black people joined. Otherwise, you were getting your tail whooped. They were getting destroyed in the Civil War until the black people showed up. Time after time, we come in and we save y'all. And then when it's time for us to get our due, you get amnesia. It's over for that. It's over for that. We love this country, and we want our country to love us right back. We want the same respect. We want our due. And I don't understand what all this extra comments and talk coming from people who are not foundational black Americans, by the way. They have so much to say. They have so much to say when it doesn't concern them. It's not your business. They keep pulling these little sham routines, and we see through them. We're done with it. That time is over. Okay? That time is over. Too many of us, we're on top of the game now. We see where you're going, and we're not playing anymore. We're just not going to play. And the system is not going to work without us. We're not the majority of the country, but there's enough of us, as you see, to swing these votes. You see how that worked out, didn't you? Let's say the difference between 2020 and 2024, roughly like 4 million. 4,700,000 maybe. It's the difference in the total of the votes. And that's not the total of our people, because like I said, some of us voted for Trump. There was a good bit of us that voted for Trump. But you went from a 7+ million whop Biden over Trump in 2020 to them lying in our face and all this kind of carrying on to a over 4 million loss in 2024. That's the swing. Okay? And there was no large surgence. I mean, Trump went from, he had 74 million the first time. He had 74, a little over 74 million. And he only had 70, he beat y'all with 77. So you can attribute his 74 to 77. You could say that 3 is FBA. You could say that. 3 million plus our 4. I'll go with that. There's enough of us to tip the scales. And we're not playing anymore. It's time out, and nobody else is treated this way, B. Nobody else is treated this way. Okay? It's only what's fair. And that's the reason why they're trying to take away the history books so you guys can't look up the true history. But here on this channel, on FBA All Day, I'm going to be bringing you this history. I'm going to be bringing you the truth, the verifiable truth. Okay? We're going to go through it, and we're going to learn the truth. But I'm starting here, and we're going to start on this point right here. We are done. We're not playing the political games anymore. We have a treaty in place. All they need to do is honor it. Our reparations was already laid out. It's in a treaty. It's a document signed. We have a signed contract with America. All we are asking for is what we're due. You gave it to the Indians. We've done more for this country than the Indians. The Indians actually went to war against you. They went to war against the United States. And you've treated them better than you've treated us. We're tired of it. That time is done. Okay? We have a treaty in place. We want that treaty to be honored. That's all we're saying. Reparations is due. It's ours. It's like you guys have been sitting at the table in the restaurant, eating all night, and now that you're full, now you don't want to pay the bill. Now that the country's full, they got all of our experience, all our inventions, all our knowledge, all our entertainment. They're full, they're fat off of living off of us. Now the bill is due. Okay, the bill is due. Pay what you owe. That's all you got to do.